My drink is coming with trip. Alright, welcome to the casting couch. You know what that is?
Yes, Aaron.
How you know? How you know?
I'm 27 years old.
It feels when you're on the left side. You're always the other way. Flip?
Aaron, no! You're fine.
Alright.
Why I gotta do it?
Alright guys, so finally.
Hello everyone. Alright, hello everyone on YouTube. I am Maria. This is AA Ron. This is Aaron. This is my boyfriend. And today you will hear the story of how we came to be. So, do you want to start it off?
I mean, I think you can both.
I feel like there's like two vantage points because there is. It's a funny story, so
We can both say our versions throughout.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I think we should start off with yours because I didn't know he existed where he did exist until later on, so I'm gonna let him. Did.
But
you saw me first. I didn't see you.
I didn't know that was you though. So that doesn't.
But I still didn't see you.
Alright, anyways, we gotta get y'all caught up. So to begin, it's me and Maria have we're both from the same hometown, which is Norfolk, Virginia. And
we're both divorced too.
Yeah, and we both have mutual friends. In Norfolk, Virginia, it's a big place, but when we were coming up, it was still to the point where if you were like in the in crowd or around like around the same age, like teenage years or all the way up to your 20s, everybody kind of knows each other. It's a party crowd.
I'm also older than him, so
by 1 year,
we weren't really hanging out with the same people.
By 1 year. Anyways, we had a lot of mutual friends.
I knew some of his younger friends.
That's not even true. She's 1 year older than me. She's 27. She always holds it over my head.
I'll be 28 soon.
Anyways.
He's only 26.
So, we have a lot of mutual friends, and it's funny because that same group of people always like hang out or not. I mean, we both find ourselves in the same places. So, somehow, throughout this whole time, me and Maria always miss each other. Now we know that we've even been to like similar parties, but either one of us wasn't there or one of us was coming and going, so we were always missing each other. And but one of the main things though is we do have a mutual friend named Jane Ray, which happens to be like a sister to me and a best friend, and
I'm the godmother of her first son.
So the first time I really met Maria was during Jane Ray's baby shower, and she was the host.
I was 21 at the time, and he was like 15. No, I'm kidding. He was like 18 or 19 or about that, around that age group. And I was the hostess for the event. And the only thing I remember about him was that he got on my nerves. He had said something that ticked me off. And usually when I'm running events, I just need everyone's cooperation. So at a baby shower, you play games and things like that. He did not want to play a game, or he had said something against my game, and I know that I didn't like that. That's the only thing I remember about him. At the time, I was with my ex-husband. Me and my ex-husband were dating. So it's not like I was like, oh, he's like so cute or anything like that. I was just like, that's the dude that ruined my game at the baby shower. So that was my remembrance of him.
But she doesn't even know what I did, what I said, but she just knows it's me supposedly.
You said something smart, and I know it was you. Because you were tall and skinny, and I was like, I've never seen a tall, skinny Asian person like this, and you had a vest on.
It's pretty
That's
accurate.
how I know it was him.
Accurate description of what I was wearing that day.
So,
you see how she really holds grudges? You see that? I still remember all of that. But anyways, so from then on, I guess we were just both kind of checking for each other. You know, she was dating somebody, and I don't know what I was doing. I'm sure I was seeing someone, but we were both checking for each other on Instagram. Never made it known. I didn't even know she was checking for me like I was checking for her until way later on.
Well, I started checking for him after I had got divorced. I knew that while I was married, he was married as well. And I was just like, oh, you know, that's fine, whatever.
Alright, so,
it happens.
So we see each other, like, you know, we see each other on Instagram. You know, we got mutual friends. We added each other or whatnot. I mean, I wouldn't say, like, we weren't, like, trying to flirt with each other or anything like that. Like she said, we were both with someone at the time. So, but I did see, like, her Instagram. She saw mine. But, you know, time went on, like, years and years later. And it wasn't until...
Many years.
Yeah, it wasn't until I was already, like... I don't know, how long ago was that? Like, so 8 months ago when... Well, it was like... Yeah, so somewhere in June is when we reached out to each other? June.
How would it be June?
So when did we reach out to each
If
other?
we started talking in May.
Oh, so when did we reach out to each other?
What's the month before May? April?
Oh.
This is what I do. He has Alzheimer's.
So.
But, so it was April.
Mm-hmm.
Around the April time frame. For some reason, he popped back up on my Instagram, you know, like people you should add or whatever. I'm not technologically advanced like you young folk.
We were already friends on there.
But no, you had like 3 different Instagrams. You had your old one, you have your new one, and you had your photography one.
Yeah. And
so it just reminded me. I was like, oh, that's that cute, you know, Filipino guy on Instagram that just fell. So I, you know, went through his photos again, and I was like, there's no more wife in any of these pictures. And I was like, now's my time to strike. So I liked a few pictures, and, you know, you just throw a little bait out there just to see if they nibble at it. And he did.
So I seen she at first. She only liked one picture, right? But I'm telling you, like, I've already liked Maria before. I was just like, man, this girl's really attractive. Actually, I remember I've asked about her before with my friend Jane Ray, because, you know, like, Jane Ray is a close friend, so I seen that she was hanging out with her, and I was like, no, who's that? So I remember I asked about her before, and I know of her, so when her name popped back up on my Instagram, even though it was so subtle, it was just one like, but, you know, I was just like, you know, finally, like, let me go check this girl. And I went on her page, and I've seen all this stuff, but I didn't want to seem thirsty, so I liked one picture. So then she went back, and then she liked 2 pictures. So I was like, oh, coincidence? You know, let me go like 2 of her pictures. So I liked 2 of her pictures, and yeah, so then I realized.
Put the looking eyes.
Yeah, she put, that's what it was.
Pictures.
You know, the emoji with the little eyeballs on it. So after that, I just like, oh, this what's up. So then I called Jane Ray up, and I asked her about her. You know, I'm just like, you know, what's going on? You know, I'm just asking her and trying to get the inside scoop. So Jane Ray was trying to hook it up on my end. Only find out later on that Jane Ray was trying to hook her up on her end. So I guess Jane Ray was playing a little Cupid. And after that, I slid in her DMs. I'm gonna pull it up too. I got it in here. I'm gonna try to post it on here so everybody else can see it too. Let me take y'all back to the DM real quick, right? So I slid in her DMs after the eye emoji, and I was like, hey. I said, hey. She said, well, hello. How are you? And
that's
I said,
how I speak.
See?
So
that's exactly how she speak. And I was like, I'm good. How you been? Honestly, I'm in your DMs because you looking fine as hell, if I'm being honest. So that's kind of, she said it back too though. She said, I too am doing well, living the dream, and thank you so much. LOL, you're quite fine yourself. I appreciate your honesty. So throughout this whole thing, you know, me and Maria are real bold people. Clearly she's bold because she's kind of like the one that initiated it all. And even after, you know, we said we kept on going for a while, and she kind of, you know, like conversation felt like it was dying out to me. But she made the effort to, one day I was just chilling in my bed. I was still in New York. We should mention that. I'm in New York at this point. She's back in Norfolk, Virginia. And I'm chilling in my bed, and all of a sudden my phone rings, and it had her number on it. Cause did you ask for my number?
No.
Or did I?
You did.
Oh, so.
And you said we should talk.
Yeah, so I said we should talk.
I was scared to call him.
So why did? So I'm chilling in my Brooklyn apartment, right?
He was cute.
Chilling on there, and my phone rings, and it's from Maria, and it's 2018, and women don't really call men like that. Let alone even in most relationships. I know people in relationships who don't call each other; they just text. But Maria, like this fine ass girl, calls me, and I'm just like tripping out. Like I wanted to answer it so. That's what I remember. I wanted to answer it so fast, but I was like, no, let me let it ring for a little bit.
He's all
let me
about
play the
how
game.
it looked.
Let me play the game. And so finally it was ringing for a while, and I pick up. Yeah, I mean, her voice was on the other end. I remember thinking, like, is this real? And thinking how, like, not trying to objectify her, but how sexy, how attractive her voice sounded on the phone. And I was just, on my side of the phone, I was all smiles. And I hate my smile. I have, like, this gummy smile, but I had, like, my gummies. I had this gummy smile out, but I had a straight voice. I had a straight voice trying to make it, I know women like that, y'all like when how guys sound like in the morning, when we have like that morning voice. So I was trying to like sound all suave and everything. It was like, oh hey.
I'm not like most girls. So if any of you other girls are like me and you're not like the rest of them, follow me, subscribe. Hit the bell. On the phone for like hours.
Yeah, so.
It was a long time.
To just sum it up, like from that day forward, me and Maria talked every day. So at this point we're a long distance relationship, but we talk on the phone every day. I got text messages between both of us where we're already like, at this point we became such an important factor in each other's lives where it was a part of our routine, where like when something really great happens and you can't wait to tell that one person, like Maria was my person, and I felt like I was hers too. And yeah, so she would tell me like, no babe, I got like a promotion, or I got like an award, and we would just talk as soon as she gets home from like, I don't know, like sometimes 3 in the afternoon, 6 in the afternoon, I mean, depend.
Yeah, I would
6 at night.
leave work, pick up my daughter from daycare, come home, get her situated with her toys or TV or whatever the case may be, and then I would call him and we would talk until it was time to cook dinner, or sometimes I would talk to him while I was cooking dinner if I had my headphones, and I would feed my daughter, then I would call him back after we like brushed our teeth and
we talked
went
all
to
the way
bed and stuff.
Yeah, all the way till like the birds were chirping, like no joke. And that wasn't like a one-time occasion. We kept on doing that for a long time. But so to sum it up, that we just became, I guess that's just how our relationship blossomed, and it was, the distance actually benefited us because we always felt like, let's say like if we were so close to each other, we might go on like 1 or 2 dates, have like 2 hours of dinner time and talk. But for us, we didn't have the luxury, so the time we had on the phone was all we had. So we would talk for hours on end, and it went from like a nonchalant conversation to getting real deep to why we are the people we are today. So that's how things really blossomed between us. And yeah, and then eventually one day I was on Instagram.
He was looking at some old pictures.
We always, when you're really crazy about somebody, you're always just checking their stuff. I sure was. I'm crazy for this girl. So I was on her Instagram checking all her stuff, and don't let her lie, y'all. She is doing the same. She was doing the same for all my pictures, and she has admitted it. So, we were just always looking at each other's Instagram and whatnot, and I mean, just geeking. We're on like cloud 9. So I'm looking at her stuff, looking at all her old pictures, and I see this one picture, and she's outside her house, or outside a house, in the driveway with Ava, her daughter, and I'm bugging out. I'm tripping, and I sent her the photo, and I was like, "Do you live here?" What is that? What I said? I said, "Do you live here?"
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, "Do you live?"
And I was like, "This is my house." Like, yeah, I live here. I was like,
but she didn't say that because it can't. I knew it was gonna sound like that. I was trying to make it sound like it wasn't stalkerish, but I didn't know how else to say it. So I was like, do you live at the house? And you know, she's tripping out, like trying to, you know, it kind of sounds stalkerish. And she's like, yeah, why? And I was just like, you know, is that your house? Is that your driveway? And long story short, I was just like, well, if that's your house, my parents live right next door to you. Like, my parents are your neighbors. And yeah.
I was like, no, ain't no way. I was like, there's no possible way. And it was just so funny. So my parents, you know, I told them, you know, I was talking to someone new. And so, you know, I told my dad, I was like, yeah, like the guy I'm talking to, he said that his parents are our neighbors because my parents own a couple houses in Virginia. And so my dad was like, you know, that makes sense because they asked to buy that house for their son. And I was like, you gonna give me this information, Dad? Like, what in the world? And he was like, oh, I had no idea that it would ever, like, come together. And I was like, well, so his parents, or him and his parents actually wanted to buy my parents' house. But my dad was saving it for me at the time I was away in Texas in A school. And when I was going to come back, they were going to give me that house to live in with my daughter. So that was hilarious.
Yeah, because I was trying so hard to buy that house. For me, my family, for me, like, I just wanted to get the house right beside my parents. It would have been the most convenient thing. And I kept trying, and, you know, I had my own place in Virginia Beach, but I told my dad to please keep a lookout and try to get that house. But turns out, you know, the guy that was living there, which is her dad.
Well, he wasn't living there. We just owned it.
Yes, you know, we're just saying that saving the house for his daughter who was in the Navy. So I was even trying to spin the whole, like the patriotic type thing, you know, tell him, I was like, Dad, you know, tell him I was in the Army and that I can use like my VA home loan to get it and all that whole thing. But I think we just think it's like God's humor, which is so funny because I just came from Norfolk, Virginia. I was coming out of a bad situation and I did everything possible for like some months to try to get out of Norfolk, to try to start like this whole idea I had in my mind of going to school in New York because I'm studying law. So I wanted to go to school in New York, be a paralegal, finish up the rest of my law school in New York. So I sold all my things in Virginia. I was just going to school all the time, like every day, going to school, studying and stuff, acing all my tests to try to get out of there, and finally got accepted to NYU. Finally made it to New York, found a place in Brooklyn, finally like chilled out. I'm thinking like I don't want in a relationship, and if I do, like it's never gonna be with a military girl because I'm far away from any military bases at all. And then only to find out the love of my life is in Norfolk, Virginia, but not just anywhere in Norfolk, Virginia, right next door the whole damn time. Because before I left, I ended my lease in Virginia Beach, and then I moved in with my parents to try to save up for New York. So while I was there, the new neighbor finally moved in, right? And I remember thinking like, damn, that neighbor is fine. Like, the neighbor looks good. So at this time, I had an auto body shop. So I had all these toys. I had motorcycles. I had cars. So I would always be outside doing the most to try to get her to come out. Or I was at least hoping she would look out the window. You know, so I would like clean the car, blast music. And I would blast like, I remember thinking I would blast like current music. I remember I kept playing, damn, what's the one song? I don't know. But anyways, I just kept playing like some new music so she would know, like, all right, like this Asian dude's down. Like, he knows what's up. Like, he's down with like, you know, like the in thing. And
oh my God.
Yeah, so, but it never worked. She never came out her house. As soon, you know, one day I was so hyped because she was outside, like at her porch, just chilling, and I pulled in with my truck. Everything I own is loud as heck. Like, I have a big diesel truck, I have motorcycles, I have race cars. So I pulled in with my diesel truck, and I was doing the most, and I was trying to catch her outside. And as soon as I pull in, she goes right back inside her house. But
well, like I said, the type of person that I am, I determine if there's a bunch of commotion outside, I'm going inside. That's how I was raised. You mind your business, stay away from the commotion, because that's probably where the trouble's at. So
You ain't wrong.
I would always go back inside. I would always just be like, God, these people are so loud next door. Jesus.
You did not think
Why?
that.
Yeah, that truck is very loud. Every time you start it up, you can hear it through my house. I'm like, but, you know, I just was focused on raising my child and being in the Navy. But
But anyways, during the whole time, I didn't know that was Maria. I knew I had a fine ass neighbor, but I never got close enough to see who she was. So I didn't know. So we really didn't know who each other was until that day. But we were saying I was on Instagram and I asked if that was her house. So that was that. So that's kind of like how we linked up, and then after that, found out, and I just knew I had to lock it down. Like, there's actually like I looked at Maria's Instagram and I seen like as that guy, like you know, like I'm looking at her Instagram and I'm seeing that she don't got any videos on there. Like, she's fine as hell, but she don't got any videos over there of her on there like acting a fool. She's not on there twerking. She's not on there going to clubs. All I see is her and her daughter, and I really like that. You know, I was just like, I see like this is a good girl. Like, she's just out here. Hey guys, I'm so sorry to interrupt your video, but the camera actually died. So that being said, we're coming out with a part 2 video on how we met, but in person. And I promise you, this was not on purpose at all. Our camera really died. We were talking for so long, but apparently just to ourselves. But up to this point, you guys know on how me and Maria met. Or not met, but how, you know, our relationship blossomed. But keep in mind that I'm still in New York and she's still back in Virginia. So if you've watched other videos, the leaked video of my girlfriend, you see pictures, videos off there on how we actually met. And, you know, our first date, which was in Miami, Florida. She got flew out to Miami, and we had our vacation over there. And that's the very first date that we had, and that's when we first met. So stay tuned for that. You know, we'll let you guys know how it all went down, how it was like first seeing her at the airport, you know, our Miami trip. So once again, I apologize that the video has to be split in 2 parts, but I promise it's worth it. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I can't thank you guys any more than this. But we are working with that video, and it's in the works, and I'm editing it as we speak. It just takes a lot of time, and time we don't have. So thank you guys so much. But I know you guys have been asking for this, so I really wanted to wait and put it all together, but I know this is something that's our viewers, 600 of you guys have been asking for. So yeah, so at least we gave you guys that much. So stay tuned and watch out for the part 2 of our first official meeting each other and when she got flued out in our vacation. So thank you guys so much, and like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Thank you.